In today's video, I'm going to take you through my Harley Quinn self-portrait. Normally, I will record me getting ready as well as me actually taking the photographs, but I can't find the setup footage anywhere. I think I may have not pressed record properly, but I don't have that footage, so I'm really sorry if this video is a bit of a disappointment, but I'm going to take you through the edit anyway. So I needed to do a little bit of background patchwork. Again, I'm being a little bit inadequate and I started about 2 minutes before I pressed record, so sorry again. I promise I'll get better at making videos. So I've just patched the background in and I'm just getting rid of that little line using a combination of the patch tool, clone stamp and the healing brush. I also had to extend the background a little bit and add in some more hair. That was just taken from another very similar shot. So I'm getting rid of all the little hairs across my eyebrow and my eyes. Again, I'm using a combination of the clone stamp and the healing brush. I'm not too worried about little stray hairs right at the top, but they're quite distracting when they're over the eye area, so I like to try and get rid of those. And I'm just cleaning up the makeup a little bit. I did put this on myself with eyeliner, but I just wanted to neaten it up because I really wanted it to stand out. Just using the clone stamp and the rotate tool and just neatening that up, and I think it looks much better. Next, I'm going to use 2 layers, a dodge layer and a burn layer, and all I'm doing is lightening areas that are too dark, like dark circles under the eyes, any blemishes on the skin, and you can also darken areas that you want to stand out a little bit more, like straightening a nose. It's very good for that, and I always straighten my nose. And just touching around the eyes just a little bit. I nearly always whiten the whites and darken the rim. It just gives them a little bit more pop in the image. Now I'm just using a dodge and a burn layer just to lighten the highlight areas on the face and darken any areas around the eyes that I want to stand out a little bit more. Once I'm finished with these layers, I use a blend if. So I double click on the layer and I tell it to blend if it's in the highlights for the shadow layer, and then for the other layer I tell it to blend if in the shadows. Liquefying, I'm just slimming down that arm and just making the boobs a little bit bigger because after all it's Harley Quinn and she's a bit of a babe. Now I've just got a clean layer set to current and below, and I'm just softly, very softly cloning over areas that are a little bit rough in texture just to smooth that out a little bit. I've got my flow set to about 3 to 5%. This is something I haven't used in a few videos. It's a collection of actions from Greater Than Gatsby for retouching, and I just find them really nice for enhancing eyes, and I hadn't used them for a while, so I thought I'll use them again for this one. I'll put a link in the description box down below to these. Now I'm adding some blue tones to the eyes. I just wanted them really bright and vivid. She is a comic book character after all, and I just reduced the opacity once I'd done that because I went a little bit over the top. Little curves layer just to brighten it up, but also to match. The top left corner was very dark and the bottom right corner was very light, so I just wanted to even that out. What I did there was add some pink to the highlights and then use the apply image technique to blend those in. Again, I'm doing it with the shadows and adding blue tones to the shadows, using apply image and inverting the mask, and that just gives a blue tinge to your shadows. It's like colour toning, like a dual colour toning. Just neatening up the lips with a bit of liquefy. And then I noticed there was a little patch that just needed cloning over where the lipstick didn't quite cover. I didn't really like the ponytail band that I had, and I didn't have any ribbons, and I thought it'd look quite placed on if I tried to add a ribbon. So I just lifted up the ponytail a little bit and warped it into place, just so that it looks like the ribbon or the hairband could possibly be underneath it. And then a bit of dodge and burn just to get rid of those dark areas. I've set a clean layer to the blend mode colour, and I'm just picking up different whites from different areas as I go over it, and I'm just trying to hide some of the big gaps. Wigs are really messy and they're really difficult to keep in place when you're flapping about trying to take your own photos in them. And this wig in particular is an absolute nightmare. This is a set of actions that I got free from Amanda Diaz when she released her new collection. You could sign up to her newsletter to get 4 free actions, and they're really nice. It's called Daydream 4, I think. I'm not sure if you can still sign up for them, but I'll place the link in the description box below. As always, I've now taken it into Alien Skin, and I'm just going through some of my favourite presets to see which one I like best. Now I'm really happy with the colour tone of this now, but I did think it looks a little bit like a school portrait with that back in some graffiti, just to make it a little bit more comic book. So with the quick selection tool, I'm just whizzing around the edge using the refine edged option at the top, just so that it cuts out that hair a little bit better. Because it's a messy background, you can get away with it not being perfect. Running through blending modes there just to see which one looks the best, and now I'm adding in a little texture on the top of everything, and it sort of really cements everything together, making it look a little bit more realistic rather than someone just plopped on front of a background. It sort of marries everything together, and I'm just removing a little bit of the texture from the face and the hair where it was really obvious. Darkening down myself there because I felt like it's a little bit too white. And there's the before, straight out of camera, and the after. I think it's a big difference. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram. I'll see you next time.